How's it going, everyone? College Lefty, and in this video I have for you all the Signature Series Walter Johnson debut. This guy used to be an absolute legend. I think in 1913 he won like 36 games, pitched 11 shutouts in that season, as well as had an ERA like 1.14. This guy pitched for 21 years. We got the big train, Walter Johnson, on the mound. He is going to be making his debut. I didn't really mess with the lineup too much. We have the same guys in there. Honus Wagner, Ken Griffey Jr. is in the lineup, as well as Rogers Hornsby is playing second base instead of Roberto Alomar. That's really the only changes there. This opponent has a really good team. He's got some budget guys as well, some budget Signature Series players that aren't necessarily as expensive, and he doesn't have Willie Mays or any of the really exclusive cards, I would say, but definitely a solid team. He has Luis Gonzalez in left field. He went ahead and made that play in center. Roy Oswalt on the mound, and I have struggled against this card a couple times facing him. He's better on the harder difficulties. This game is on all-star difficulty, so keep that in mind when I'm using this Walter Johnson. However, I'm going to start the game off with a first pitch curveball. I want to test out his off-speed pitches. I figured that this guy would be waiting for the fastball, since he does throw it in the hundreds. I think he can reach 102 if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, that's a foul ball to Roberto Alomar. I wanted to take you guys through the first couple of at-bats. I think the one downside to this card is that he does have a little bit of a longer motion than other pitchers in the game, but it can be used to your advantage. There's 101 on the fastball, getting the first strikeout of the game. Facing Tony Gwynn now, and going with the changeup away, throws it about 83 miles an hour, so that's a huge difference. That's about 18 miles an hour, could be 19, depending on how he throws it. I think I threw the changeup as slow as 82 miles an hour in this so far in this game. But anyway, I wanted to take you guys through my approach. I think that the best thing to keep in mind is that he has a very quick delivery with runners on base, so that's kind of what I was talking about and how it can be used to your advantage. When he's throwing out of the windup, of course, he's going to be swinging his arm around in a circle, and that's kind of the delay, but it can also be deceptive. And then if they get a base runner on, then he will go to the plate rather quickly and keep the runner from scoring or from stealing or something like that. So kind of important to keep in mind. It can also throw the rhythm of the hitter up at the plate. They're timing off just a little bit. But we got something going here in the top of the second inning. Got a couple base hits, and then I was wondering about this feedback because after knocking this runner in and getting thrown out at third base, it said just late or late squared up. I'll try and move my face cam to the left so you guys can see that. I had a good amount of squared up hits so far in this game. I mean, some decent contact there. I just missed that one. It was low and away. Missed it over the middle of the plate where my PCI was. But anyway, off the end of the bat. Didn't really get anything going. I only got that one run after having a great opportunity to kind of break the game open. But anyway, trying to pitch with this Walter Johnson, all-star difficulty. This opponent was pretty aggressive so far. Wasn't really taking that many pitches. I'm trying to still throw him some strikes. I'm trying to challenge him. He was taking earlier in the count, and then once I got a couple strikes on him, he started to swing a little bit more. That's at least what I've noticed to this point of the game. But pitching, trying to throw it to the outside half there because I noticed that he was early as well. He was waiting for the fastball inside. He was able to turn on it. The previous batter hit the curveball through the right side there, so I tried to be careful. But one thing to keep in mind about Walter Johnson, another thing that could be beneficial, is that he's one of the better hitting pitchers in the game. If you're looking for someone who can hit the baseball, drive in a couple runs for you if you need it, Walter Johnson's definitely the starting pitcher that you want to go with. He has the contact in the 40s, and his power is in the 30s, so that's definitely better than a lot of the other pitchers. Not necessarily as much pop as Madison Bumgarner, though, for example. But anyway, I tried to throw a sinker on the inside half. I missed it over the middle of the plate. I missed with the analog meter. You guys saw that it was over the middle, and that's exactly what happened. It was low, and he was able to golf it into the gap for a double. But, I mean, I was squaring up the ball in this game a few times and just lining out. Luckily, I was able to pitch out of the last inning and get out of that jam, that double situation, and not allow him to score. But we're in the bottom of the fourth inning. We're at a pretty good pitch count, and he is going to get his first single of the ball game. So he had a couple opportunities earlier. He had a guy on second base, ripped a double, and now he's getting something going. He stole second, so that's something to keep in mind. He stole on the first pitch with Griffey, trying to get in scoring position. And I went with the changeup first pitch, so just because he threw it to the plate rather quickly with that kind of almost automatic slide step, he was still able to get in safely. That is going to result in a sac fly. That results in a run. So the first earned run against Walter Johnson is from a sac fly, just a regular single. He manufactured that run. But throughout this point, I think that Walter Johnson is pitching rather well. I mean, there's a double into the gap on a changeup low. I missed my spot a little bit with that one. I wanted that more on the outside corner. But so far, I think this card is okay. I think there are much better starting pitchers that you can go with. I think it's very difficult to determine if a pitcher is good on All-Star anyway. But I think I got a little bit predictable on that situation. I went with the changeup low, followed up by a fastball inside, actually a sinker. And he still throws that sinker 97 miles an hour, but he turned on that one, ripped it down the line, and the opponent actually takes the lead there in the top of the 5th inning. But this game, I find that it plays strange sometimes. So sometimes I'm squaring up the ball consistently and I don't get rewarded. And to start this inning off after the opponent just scored, I hit a home run. I was not on that one with the PCI. It was good timing, but I wasn't on it like I was some of the other swings, even this one that I just lined out to left field. So kind of strange to see that happen, but nonetheless we tied the game up, which is the most important part, and tried to overcome some of the last hits that the opponent received. So it's going back and forth in this one. Walter Johnson's still pitching in this game. I wanted to leave him out there for another at-bat, try and get some more gameplay with him, because I don't know if I'm going to keep him on the squad. It's just the windup is a little bit too long. Not that I was having a tough time controlling him. As you guys can see, he has really good control from his stats at the very beginning of the video. He does have elite control on all of his pitches, but nonetheless, he doesn't have a slider. I think that that's the most important thing. If he had a pitch that kind of broke a little bit harder than the curveball or the changeup, it doesn't really have that much of a speed differential from some of those pitches. It's almost like he has two pitches when you're using this card, because the sinker isn't that much slower than the 101 fastball or the 100-mile-an-hour fastball. But I would think that this card would be much better and most effective on Legend difficulty. I think that every pitcher is at their best on Legend anyway. Just depends on if you are able to control him on that difficulty with the pitches that he has, because he only has those 4. But anyway, so far in this one, I haven't really gotten anything going. I got rewarded with a few strange hits, and even the ones I squared up resulted in outs. It was just playing, I felt like the game was playing really strange during this, during some of these clips. I mean, lined out on a hit and run, good with Griffey. I squared this one up with Willie Mays. I thought I had a home run earlier in the game with him on a power swing that resulted in a fly ball to center field, but that one was just a regular swing into the gap. And I'm not really sure what happened, but sometimes I got rewarded for just barely missing the ball. This is another one where I was on top of it, hit it up the middle. It was still a hard hit, base hit, and I'll take it. But we have an opportunity with the bases loaded after he walked Chipper Jones. With Lou Gehrig up, he brought in the lefty, Josh Hader, and I definitely missed that one. I don't expect to get a hit on that pitch, but would have been nice to at least maybe have a couple more home runs in this game for both sides. I think that this guy was hitting the ball hard as well, and we haven't really had any home runs throughout the game. I mean, I had the one with Lou Gehrig to tie it up, and that's been it. And we're already in the 6th inning. I feel like sometimes playing at major league stadiums, the ball doesn't necessarily carry as much. I do really enjoy playing PNC Park. Here I'm going to make a terrible mistake and throw cancel with Lou Gehrig. You always want to run the runner back. But what I was saying about PNC Park is I've actually had a chance to visit this field and check out that golden yellow bridge outside center field there. Check out that river and that body of water, and it's a beautiful stadium. One of the most beautiful stadiums, if not the nicest one I've seen. I still have a biased opinion towards Comerica Park, but PNC is a very beautiful stadium. Anyway, I blew this game so far. The opponent takes the lead with Mike Piazza, 5-2 ball game after that home run. I really messed up with that stolen base in the last inning. If I get that guy with the pitch out, then it's a completely different ball game. But nonetheless, I mean, I had an opportunity to score some runs in my half of the inning. I missed a couple chances right there. I don't know how I didn't send that one out with Frank Thomas, but we're in the top of the 8th inning. Really, the last couple of at-bats here, I'm down to my last 6 outs, and I got to get something going. He left in Josh Hader to start this inning, who finished the last one. So anytime you leave in a reliever for more than one inning, you're just allowing him to have a chance to get hit around a little bit. I'm trying to take advantage right now. Lefty with Ken Griffey Jr. If he throws a fastball just like that, I'm going to go ahead and turn on it. Luckily, I didn't drop the PCI there and pop it up to the catcher. I squared it up and had a nice, good squared up, no doubt hit. And trying to follow it up. He still has Josh Hader in the game. He did not pause it to take a mound visit or anything. So at this point, We're down a run, but at the same time, his confidence is a lot lower. 0-2 count, he hangs the slider, and I'm going to hit that one to dead center. Not a no-doubter. I felt like he had a chance to rob that one, but he just barely misses the timing on it. I felt like Griffey was going to catch that and completely take away any chance from me coming back in this game. But nonetheless, we get kind of rewarded here with a base hit off the pitcher. He throws it away, so I'm taking the extra base, and we're going to have an opportunity to score a couple runs here. We have the pitcher spot coming up. I brought in George Brett. I felt like he might have walked him or intentionally walked him. He throws a curveball over the middle of the plate, and George Brett is one of the most clutchest hitters on my team. He's definitely still one of the best cards in the game, in my opinion. And he went ahead and got us some insurance runs right there. That was a huge at-bat. We get the strikeout to end it as long as Pablo Sanchez throws the runner out at first, and that is the ball game. So kind of a crazy game there. We got a 6-run inning in the top of the 8th, and the bats really came alive. I started to square the ball up more consistently, get rewarded on the swings with higher exit velocities that I did square up. Even mid-game in that one, I went ahead and looked at the batter analysis. I wanted to see exactly where I was missing. He threw a lot of pitches over the middle of the plate that I had pretty good hit chance opportunities, and I didn't get rewarded, but I made the adjustment and overcame what happened throughout the game. But until next time, everyone, I'm College Lefty, and have a great day.